Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skyazrael.com if you're interested in life coaching and mentoring. Let's get into today's topic. It's Friday morning, bright and early. Mind, body, and soul, daily discipline. This is how we get through. I got a day off from the gym today. I go 3 days on, 1 day off. So today's my day off. I'm sore. My entire body is sore. Every time I stand up, every time I walk, every time I move or reach for something, all my muscles are sore. But it's a good sore. Let's get into today's topic. I had to make this video. This is the second time I made this stupid video. I made an awesome video just 5 seconds ago. Oh, it was great. Probably the best video I've ever made in my whole life. Would have gotten 100,000 views. But I forgot to push play. So let's just get into it. All I want to talk about this morning is walking away from fights. It's incredibly hard to do. Can you walk away from a fight? I've had to learn, the older I get, how to walk away from fights. You know, of course, obviously, physical confrontations. And what inspired me to get in less physical confrontations was the older I got, the more police involvement there would be with my fights. And the last physical confrontation I got into was a few years ago, and I had half of the police force on me. SWAT team style. And after that experience especially, I told myself, all right, I have to be able to control myself. I can't just get this angry. I can't just be baited into these types of scenarios that could be potentially life-changing and end up in prison. I've known lots of guys who've been to prison for fights. Just fist fights, bar fights. Nothing, just bullshit. Lots of guys. No guy who did 5 years, a state joint, just for a bar fight. I've known lots of guys who've been to the county jail for bar fights. But I've learned how to control my temper with that and to walk away and to give people a pass. And it's not a good feeling. It destroys me inside. But I've learned how to control that and how to let that go. It's really just ego. Because I've always felt when I walk away from a physical confrontation, I feel like a pussy. And I don't like feeling like that. But I can get over it, and I can convince myself with rational thoughts, and my buddies can say, it's not worth it, brother, and this kind of stuff. You're a tough guy, and it's not worth it. Okay, we all can do that with ourselves. Maybe you teach that to your kid. But what's far more difficult that I've found, and for a lot of men, is to walk away from arguments. The ego really has an attachment to that form of being right, to that kind of confrontation. Being right is such an incredibly powerful drug. I call it a drug because it's like this experience. You get this feeling when you're right. You see, I'm trying to dodge this here. I'm in the death zone. Here I can live. It's like the moon. Being right is so intoxicating. And you want to go from being right to being right to, and when you're wrong, if you're ever wrong, if you say something that's wrong and someone calls you out on it and you're legitimately wrong, that for a lot of guys that have big egos, that feels emasculating. I've seen guys go into depressions because they were wrong about an argument of which engine is in the new Corvette. It's just little shit. Some motherfuckers just have to be right. And they will argue you on any topic, no matter what. It's really hard to talk to people like that. They're not really listening. They're listening for so they can give a response. They're cherry picking what you say and just ready to debate. You see this online. It's fascinating. Almost anything you say can be picked apart, and people cherry pick. They do it less on YouTube, more in text documents, so on Twitter or on Facebook, where you're actually reading someone's text. People will miss the point of what you're trying to say as a whole, and cherry pick one sentence or one word in a sentence and go ballistic and want to argue. And there's sometimes nothing you can do to calm these people down and to try to rationally. They are just in fight mode. People are just looking for a fight, looking to be right. This experience of rightness feels so good to be right. But is it worth it? Is being right so worth it? Is it so worth it to be right that you lose relationships? I know people who have lost jobs because they've been in arguments with their boss. And they're right. I'm right, goddammit. But you have to ask them, is this the hill that you want to die on? You just lost that job. And yeah, you're right. You were right. Your boss didn't admit it. So you didn't get that satisfaction of someone saying, you know what, Sky, you were right. And oh, it feels so good. You're like, you're damn right I'm right. Of course I'm right. And you walk around like you're the king. I'm so smart. I'm right. But a buddy of mine lost his job in that kind of argument. And what's next? Go sue? That's what some people said. Oh, go sue the company. Motherfucker, you got to pay rent by the end of the week. How are you going to afford a lawyer? You just lost your job. You got to think about reality. Is being right so important? Was it so? How did that work out for you? So you're right. You won. You're the hero. Oh, you're so smart. And now you're going to be looking for loans. You're going to be at the welfare office. You're going to be at the fucking gas station with the ski mask on because of this rightness. Is it worth it? I've seen guys that have lost girlfriends, lost relationships, even destroyed relationships with their own kids because they were right. Of course they were right. Your kids are stupid and you're smart, and of course you're right. But there's certain scenarios where it's like maybe it would have been worth just letting that person go through what they needed to go through, instead of you arguing your point of being right so hard, instead of you just meeting this battle. Can you just let it go? People are like this with sports. I've seen guys go to blows over arguments of sports. I've seen people ruin friendships over politics. That's one. I haven't seen anybody really fist fight over politics. I'm sure it happens, just not in my world. But I've seen lots of people delete each other off of Facebook or Twitter and never talk to each other again. Just be angry because they can't give up this argument. The argument is more important than the friendship. And can you walk away from being right? Can you just settle a beef, roll your eyes, and realize that sometimes it's more important to stay friends, to stay lovers. You may be right with your wife and have an argument with her, and you're right, she's wrong. She's totally wrong on this one, but for some reason she's not getting it. Is it worth destroying the entire relationship over this? Sleeping on the couch for a week over this? Or can you just roll your eyes and be like, yeah, whatever, and then it's just water under the bridge? For many of you, that's easy. For me, that's been hard. I feel like a smart guy. I feel educated. I feel like I know what I'm talking about. And I have a combative personality in general. And I can admit that about myself, and I recognize that about myself, and I feel it coming up sometimes. I'm wanting to respond. And I've had to squash that. And that'll be an inner battle, and other people won't realize it, and they'll just be sitting there spewing away on their shit, and inside I'm just trying to keep a pack of dogs in a door inside the house, and they're all trying to bust out, and that's I'm ready to blow up and be like, damn it, you're wrong, I'm right, and I'm gonna go off on you. And I just have to keep that fucking door closed. I just have to keep my mouth shut. Just like my dad used to tell me. My dad kind of tried to mentor me as a gangster, because my dad was a gangster, and my dad's dad, my grandfather, was also a gangster, and in fact it goes back 400 years. That's what this tattoo is about. The blood family, we're gangsters, pirates. He used to tell me, You keep your full mouth shut. And he would tell me this in scenarios where he knew that I was ready to just go at it, and he would be like, you keep your fucking mouth shut. It's all just food for thought. Thanks for watching.